the club from? Yes, the country with the flying color. It is Germany. Germany will respect the state of the art, such as education, technology, lifestyle, let alone his football club. It's so interesting to talk about because the country with a great open democracy that's very up to date has always been the forerunner of the European lifestyles and cultures, which could even affect the world. We will examine the interesting facts and issues surrounding Germany. Enjoy your position and happy watching!
The largest population in Europe and was once divided into two parts, this country was the land of investors. 103 Nobel laureates have been awarded to Germans. German researchers have won numerous Nobel in the field of science, physics, sociology, and medicine. Germany is also home to the world's most famous scientist, Albert Einstein. With a vast array of superior human researchers, Germany became an industrialized country in Europe.
What about the German government system? Through the administrative corner, Germany was a federation of 30 states. Before Germany became a democracy, Germany in 1990 united between West and East Germany was marked by the fall of the Berlin Wall. And the German view of the tolerance toward the German state has developed an attitude of tolerance, where this country has an incomparative and programmable program with the aim of instilling values, the value of the child tolerance. Then, for Germany's own racism, there remains among youth who are anti-Islamic.
Racism as the most common social disease, but not the most important issue. The German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier was disillusioned by recent report of racism and asked the German people to fight racism. However, we cannot simply blame the German people for the act of racism, because racism today is also a continuation, a part of racism. When we go back to history, racism in Germany has existed since the colonial era, and then it peaked when Hitler and the Nazis embraced the power of Germany.
The example of racism in Germany is bullying and all kinds of racial attacks against children and teenagers in Germany. This was the result of Adolf Hitler's obsession with racial equal ideas, and so there was an opinion of racial purity in Germany that had to be maintained. With the Nazis, this ideology was spread by Hitler by radio, film, in the classroom, in the newspaper, even in public, supported by sizable population of elderly Germans. This is what have caused racism in Germany continue to this day.
One of authors from German, Melanie Christian Moore, says that Muslim children and teenagers in Germany are the ones who receive many of these injustices. Often external characteristics such as child clothing, the parents, the name, even the physical difference that are thought to be with the majority are discriminal and marginalization material. This burden is certainly a pressure for children and teenagers in Germany. So more to the system of evaluation in censorship should be dismantled, and the solidarity should be demonstrated by protecting the rights to getting justice.
Compared with racism, tolerance in German is much better. Tolerance in German dates from the time of Prussia and the Sultanate of Ottoman. At present, tolerance in German is in the wane. It is embodied in a shared religious observance, and there is a study of Islam in a school. However, this is not going to be alright, for in some areas of Germany, many Muslims are experiencing desensitization.
These are examples of tolerance in Germany. Let me start by mentioning about the existence of Islamic studies in their schools. It started in 2003-2004 at a school in the state of Rheinland-Pfalz, and Islamic lessons have been disseminated to other schools ever since. Next up is the Open Day at a mosque. It aims to create contact between Muslims and non-Muslims. More than 1,000 mosques over tours, inviting people to attend lecture and allowing guests to quietly participate in the prayer. And Oh, this event was deliberately held on the same day as the celebration of German unification. Isn't that interesting? The third is tolerance toward minorities. Well, one of these students in Germany claims that Germany is a country that's very tolerant of Muslims. Here, I have a great respect for others. As long as he doesn't take care of my life, I won't do that either, he said. Now, the last point is about how they deal with the differences. This man from Seoul who lives in Germany said that the most striking difference in the secular country isn't from a religion he embraces, but rather the attitude reflected in daily life. He was really required to be a good man in the Germany, not because he's in the minority, but well, people there won't even care if he Muslims or not.
Even though it experiences shortcomings in the implementation of regulations, it can be said that Germany is responsive in handling cases of racism. Starting from the racism that occurs in Germany, Muslim children and adolescents. Despite having a high level of racism, the German government is quite good at following up cases related to racism and trying to find the best solution to solve them.
From these examples of tolerance in Germany, we can take two lessons from it. First, in general, Germans accept all religions. There are only a few pressures that arise because of the jealousy of immigrants, especially from a financial perspective, because they are also guaranteed by the state. Second, learn to be a minority. By becoming a minority, someone better understands the essence of religion, both in relation to humans and with God.
Act
Act with
with sympathy, stand in solidarity, live in
live in
solidarity.
solidarity.